Yeah.
Verizon lines?
Well, we never custom your bill. They are.
Heard of the atomic clock?
Well, a lot of my certain clocks are use their own parts.
Okay, Al, 7 o'clock. I'll call the meeting to order. First order of business is to approve the minutes of June 11th, 2015.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of June 11th, 2015.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next order of business is transfers. Okay, list of transfers.
No, it's the two.
Just two.
One sergeant, one from them,
Okay, yeah, and I didn't have them. Okay, it's just written in letters. Okay. Staff and Family Services requesting a transfer of $3,860 from line item 513503, Counseling and Prevention to line item 513506, Building Services.
I'll make a motion to transfer the money from counseling and prevention to the building services.
I'll second that.
Further discussion?
No.
Building services, we're paying somebody.
Pays
That's the building-
housewares.
building company.
That's the Building Services is the company that sends the bills into the insurance. Yep.
Very good. There's no further discussion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next request is from Lieutenant Duncan. He would like to transfer $9,000 from the part-time line item, part-time salary line, to police equipment. And the transfer is going to be used to purchase 2 solar speed limit signs, similar to what we have for the trailer up here. And I don't know if you remember seeing the other one that was about on a pole. It says your speed. So it would be, and there's a picture in your file. This is one that is over in Manchester. It's a solar sign that says your speed, and it's right above what the posted speed limit is. And what we want to do is we want to put one at the head of Main Street, and we want to put one over by Hyde body coming into town to try to make people aware of their speed coming into this area.
And the pole that he's talking about buying is similar, that's not a telephone pole or something.
No, we're actually looking at doing more of an ornamental pole to try to match what we have for the green poles.
Here's the second one out. You said one was gonna be out here by Hyde.
And then one up here on the top of Main Street.
Okay. Actually, another place up on 190. I know, because I got pulled over there, because I didn't know the speed limit. I thought it was a couple.
Yeah, these are two that I think, these are two very specific for these locations. He's also, because he received a grant, he's also looking at buying 2 more for some other locations. So we would actually have 4 total, so we can do a transfer for these.
I just want to, looking for some notes that I wrote.
Wait a second, yeah.
What is the cost for these radios or Tom Cruise?
He has 2 transfers, I think, Sarge, correct? Unless it's all rolled into one.
It's all into one
The
transfer.
9,000 is one, it's the radio and then the signs.
Yeah, a radio and the 2 signs.
That's here.
Yeah, that's the quote for the radio.
I'll make a motion to transfer $9,000 from their part-time account to equipment.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion?
No.
This will be here forever and ever kind of thing.
Yeah, move that.
No, it's a permanent lump sum.
Yeah. No further discussion.
It's awesome.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next order of business is appointments. Real quick, before we go through the list of appointments, the one on the very bottom here, Mike Delano, with the Water Pollution Control Authority. The Water Pollution Control Authority currently has 7 members appointed. There's 2 vacancies. We've talked about reducing the amount of members because it's been tough to get a quorum. Mike asked me to be on board the commission. I said, oh yeah, how about the Water Pollution Control Authority? And then Rick reminded me and brought it to my attention today that we had talked about reducing it, and it's got to be done through an ordinance. They're updating their manual.
Yeah, our ordinance and regulations are almost over. We've been working on it for the last year. We're almost completed. We've sent drafts to all the town departments. We've reviewed their feedback, and the WPCA is just about finished with them. It's in 1 or 2 more meetings. Then we would present the final copy to the attorney, also to you guys to read them over and present a difference, and then it would go to a public hearing. So in that, we changed from 9 to 7, because it was, you had to have 5 people for the meeting. It was really hard to get that on sometimes, especially vacations and so on, Little League. So we asked to go down to 7, and that was our proposal. So when I realized that we had somebody that was interested in sitting on our board, I was really excited. But if we do that, then we wouldn't be able to change it. So I'd like to keep his name for an alternate or further down the road, but I'd ask that we don't appoint somebody at this time for that position.
Right. Yeah, and that's why I want to bring this one up first to discuss, because, you know, I think that, you know, it does make sense, and I did talk to Mike about it. It doesn't make any sense that we're a month or 2 away from changing an ordinance to seat him and then change the ordinance, and then we have too many members.
Right.
So,
Are the 7 on the committee people who go regularly?
Yeah, the only thing, the last couple months, between baseball, we've had a couple people that haven't, but normally they're very faithful when they go.
As an alternate, if we put him on as an alternate, can he sit in on the meetings, and then if someone's not there, like they do other committees?
If he was really interested, we could do something like that. There's no alternates on our board right now.
I think if he's interested, if you could do that, that would, like how Steve is an alternate or other people, just sit there, and then if someone's not there, they can fill it. It just gives us an extra voice, an extra body.
and I've talked to him, and there's some other things that he's interested in, so.
And Rick, you work there, but you're not on that board.
Correct.
So you go to the meetings, and there's not a quorum with you there or not there, because usually
No, I don't
5.
know.
Present what we want, but it's the voting people that's the trouble.
Yes.
October 15th will be some rollover, the people that are up for that probably want to stay on.
I would, it's my understanding everybody wants to stay on.
Skip them.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess we have to. There's just nothing wrong.
I would move that we remove Mike from this list of appointments. So, he's interested in other things, so I'll talk to him. I don't know if you know Mike, too. Mike was the president of the girls softball for the year last year. He's been involved in softball and a lot of stuff in the town, and he wants to start trying to help us. So, we'll put him to work.
Absolutely.
Okay. With that being said, we have appointments for the Community and Civic Affairs. Ashley R. Blanchard, Jody Garreau, and there's no term on those appointments.
I will make a motion to appoint Ashley Blanchard and Jody Garreau to the Communities and Civic Affairs No T.
Oh, Salverio. Salverio. Salverio is 5-year term to expire 7/1/2020. And Whitney R. Aruda to fill a vacancy of Josh Fitzgerald. Pernicki, term to expire 7/1/2016.
I'll make a motion to appoint Salverio Titus and Brittany Aruda to the Economic Development Commission.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And that's it.
Thanks.
Go back to you.
Thank you, Sal, for serving.
Thank you.
Yes.
See it.
Encouraging to
Good
have
luck,
you
Rick.
around.
Thanks.
Thank you, Rick.
Okay, next is order of business with videotaping policies and procedures. I've got a draft. Actually, I gave you a light off. I've got 2 drafts. Yes, you got 2 because I didn't like to read before. I gave you a draft, and this draft here, I think we still have a little work to do on this. This is one of the reasons why the board of selectmen feel it's important to videotape the meetings and get it out to the public. I don't have in here yet specific procedures specific to the town. So this was the beginning of it. But I wanted to bring it up because we said we're going to do it. I don't want it to not happen. What we want to do is finish it up and try to get it finished up for the next meeting. Any other questions on the draft so far?
No, it just kind of stops here and then there's going to be more added to it, you're saying?
Yep.
It's all in the right frame of mind, and I ran out of the meeting 2 weeks ago, but that's what we were going at that.
Yep.
I get to an agreement, Mr. Brian back up. Well, I was over here.
Yep.
You can see that?
So can I have a motion to table this to next meeting?
Yep, I'll make the motion to table, continues the work.
Yes.
Yes. Continue the ordinance for video recording of public meetings to our next meeting in July.
Which will probably be the end of July, because we might be canceling the meeting July 8th, 9th,
Do I have a second?
2nd.
Discussion? Okay, Mr. Worthy had a question.
I was actually going to offer a complaint for the Board of Selectmen. I can help you get these regulations and procedures in order. Some of the original ones that were done for the public access TV, Cox Communications, I was part of that, on that committee in Manchester, getting those regulations done. So I still have copies of all of that information, still have those contacts, but we can get in line with what Cox is looking for, so they can go directly into the cable TV company.
I think that would be helpful to marry this with Cox communication policies also, so that we're in line. And not that there has been, but just to make sure that we're not saying or doing or requesting something that Cox Communications has different in their policy.
And I have a question, because I don't have Cox, I have AT&T, and what they just added to my little AT&T menu bar now is like that public access meetings and government meetings, so I don't know if that's something else that I could do. Do you know what I'm talking to? Is anybody?
Yeah.
I've never seen that before. But that's what, so, like we keep saying Cox, 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 but if you don't have Cox, then what?
I believe the feed is off the same thing, PA-15.
Okay.
It's a designated public access channel.
Yes.
So whatever network you have, it's gonna work. All right, awesome, thank you.
We can try to look into that too. Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next order of business is discussion
that's me. I went to planning and zoning Tuesday. I did get a letter from Dave Palmberg. They were unanimous in approving to construct the outdoor amphitheater as me and several people have designed. So a little background, Dennis is working with me. A couple companies in town have been very generous, and I did get that grant from the Connecticut Office of the Arts for $10,000 towards that. So there should not be any financial amount that goes to any taxpayers. We are asking for a little help from companies as sponsors, and then Rich Stewart seems to think he could trench something for us as needed. So as we plan with Dennis and crew overseeing it, we will hope to get cement poured with a nice design with Mr. Susi and Mr. Combs, and run electricity to it before the August 8th Booze Fest. If we can do that, we will save $1,200, and we always rent the stage for it. We'll do the same basic thing just up the hill. And just to clarify, when you come sledding down Whit Hill from the Whit School, there's that bump, and then there's a bigger tree that you might hit right in between the two of those. Halfway is where we're hoping to put this. So
And this is a dumb question, but it's a permanent thing, it's something that's there
this
forever.
will be there 50 years at least, and maybe 100 with the concrete that we're designing it for. Modus is very good at giving us a great break of which we have in our budget.
What they've done is they moved it out of the park per se, down by the ball fields and everything that was really cluttered. They moved it up onto that hill, and then that way people can sit on the hillside. It can be used for Blues Fest, it can be used for, concerts in the park, the Arts Commission.
It's another dumb, which way does it face?
Faces up the hill towards the middle school.
So people would sit on the hill
So
and
then
watch the
they
show.
Watch the show.
In Manchester, we have a lot of groups of seniors like to see out there too. That's a possibility for adding to the venue.
There's not a whole lot of seating for seniors up there, that's the problem.
Oh, that's the next one.
Put some benches.
Gotta do something, because I can't see Grandma G walking down that hill,
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
stop
in
it, maybe.
phases.
you know? I mean, it's a great thing.
One of the things I talked to planning and zoning about, or they asked me, was seating and benches. I have it in phases. I have June 30th as the deadline originally to use the 10,000, we extended 2 months. But we want to get the base stage in, and then we can put the amphitheater over it. And then, as we make money with this thing, it goes to Hyde Park. The way to terrace it without taking away the sledding. And that was really one of the only questions I got was, you can't put cement and expect people to sled.
But catch people from going too far down the hill.
Yeah, so, short term, we're looking to put the stage in cement within a month, and then Rich Combs has the design to buy the wood and go up and dome it, and it will be, I have pictures, but I'm not gonna get into that unless you wanna see them, but
I'd like to see them if you have
we'll throw
them.
the sound up. Yeah, it's a classic Greek amphitheater hillside shape, so this is Hyde Park, here's the school, and this is where it's gonna be, you slide down here.
Do you have a picture of what it looks like though?
Yeah, I do. This is a black and white version. I got the color version. Again, this is the most affordable one because I didn't think we'd even come close to being able to do this, but we got some very good, generous companies helping us out with electricity and they're willing to nameplate. I'll throw out their name on public TV or whatever.
That's all I need to see, that's fine. The
Yeah.
electricity, like, will shut off electricity when it's not in use, so people can't just come in and use it for a picnic or whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna work that out with Bruce, because the biggest thing that was costing was putting a meter there, and I think that's the reason that you can shut it down and not have people just do whatever they want.
Now, people want to use it, what do you, after it's done, what do we do with that?
I think it's gonna be like talking to Beth, right now, if somebody wants to use the park, they have to apply, and we don't have a charge, but we will look
The
for a
Hyde Park,
donation.
the park goes through the Hyde Park Commission.
Yeah.
They have to do that.
So they need to be ready though, I think we need to like prepare them to say, you need to have some rules and procedures, because people are gonna start to wanna use it. Maybe without alcohol, you know, we need to have some rules and regulations in place before it's there and people start to use it on their own.
Speaking of that, I just got an email back from Chris Wardlow from USI today. We had asked him to review our facilities use policy. And he emailed me back today that he wasn't done reviewing it, but I should have it within a few days. So, you know, and probably the Hyde Park Commission would follow the town.
Who was
Hyde
the
Park,
people on the
Hyde Park Commission has already
Hyde Park
approved this.
Commission?
Yeah.
Lori?
Laura Harris, the chairman, Ed Cartenstein's on it. Chris Paradiso was, I don't know if he's still there.
I'd like to go to some.
Thank you, that's fine, just,
Yeah,
that's fine. There are people who know.
Tammy Rossi, I think,
Yeah, Tim.
there's one more, I think there's five.
you were just saying, Chris, insurance guy?
Paradiso.
Worker. Yeah, he looked at it for the last 2 years for us, so I know what we were talking about. You're bringing your own things to the park.
Yes.
It's good that way, so.
Sounds exciting, thank you.
Just looking for approval to move forward, which would be Bruce Davis calling up Eversource and seeing how quickly they could do it, and giving us permission to, with Dennis's final approval, start to excavate a little bit, put the cement in place. That is my request tonight. We can see that.
So basically, you're just looking for a motion for approval of the building and getting working on the amphitheater.
Yes.
Okay, and then I just did that. To move forward. To move forward with it. Can you second your own proposal? I don't know.
I'll second it.
There you go.
All right.
Further discussion?
No, I think it's awesome, thank you.
All in favor?
I'm for it.
Thank you.
I think it's a great thing, because it's giving one more step towards promoting the arts in the town and building that community in the town.
Yeah, if I can just say, the one thing that I'm excited about is I wrote letters to businesses saying I really need some help to get this going by June 30th, and some people did step up, $2,500 this year, and they're gonna pay more next year. But as soon as we ask for the extension beyond June 30th, there's another grant called Good to Great, and you have some building that's good for the arts, but it's not great, they have $3 million available. They encouraged me to apply for that with all my free time, but we may be able to have a nicer amphitheater than I'm anticipating. We're designing it, blueprints for a very nice one already. It's just going to take maybe a year or two. I think it will be open for everybody. That these businesses that are donating money to me want to use as their park to have their, so they have to travel somewhere to have a meeting or picnic. They do whatever it is.
Rent it out to make money.
Yeah, I think it could be.
You know, if we can make it profitable, that's even better.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Neil.
No, we had discussion with the resident.
I think we needed to add it.
I thought we had.
I can make a motion to add information about the trooper program reimbursement to the agenda.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're going to discuss it more.
Yes.
The reimbursement rate for the troopers currently is 70%. The legislation has been changed for the first two troopers, 85%, and every trooper after that, 100%. So we currently have 3 troopers in town. There's still a little confusion. This was put into some legislation in the budget process. Technically, the governor has not signed the budget yet, but once you get to a certain date, it becomes effective. That's what I was told. So I was told the governor doesn't have to sign the budget. He because we get to a certain date.
Comes in there, that same fiscal year as well.
Yeah, and they're going to special session too, but what I wanted to do was I wanted to start the conversation about this, because what's gonna happen, you know, we budgeted for 15, 16, $800,590 for the resident trooper office. With these changes going in from the state of Connecticut, it's gonna raise our cost by $81,390. And that's an estimate based on 2 troopers that we have right now and a step 7 trooper, which is what we're paying for now, who's leaving and one's being replaced. They could be replaced a little higher, they could be replaced a little less. You know, this 81,000 could drop by 10 or 15,000, but it could also increase by 10 or 15,000. So, after talking with Lieutenant Duncan, you know, what we should start talking about and look at is reducing 1 trooper and hiring 1 constable for the same coverage. This trooper here at 100%, the troopers cost us $134,000, $127,000, and $149,000. At 70%, they're $92,000, $89,000, and $98,000. One of these 3 is jumping to that 100. They still haven't told us, and I'm going to assume that the state's going to want your highest paid trooper to be the 100% paid. That's what they're going to go for. They're not going to say, give us 100% on the lowest paid. You know, so what we try to do is kind of hit a middle of the road number with this 81,000. So a Stafford police officer, all the expenses to the town, salary, vehicle expenses, all the expenses associated with the officer. Retirement, there's no more retirement per se for the pension, because the retirement plan now is at 457. Currently, a Stafford police officer costs us $88,369. A new hire would cost us approximately $85,000. So we have approved currently in the budget $800,590. We reduce out at the 70%, the step 7 trooper, which is 70% is the 98,000, not the 141,000. Because if we reduced out the 141,000, that would make these numbers even more favorable. So it brings us to a total of 701,656. Now, we increase the Stafford police officers by 85,000. Then we take the increase of 85% for 2 troopers, which we're taking a shot, but that would be Trooper Hogan and Trooper Buck on the top, which would be 38,990. That would put our budget at $825,646 versus the projected increase of $81,390. We would have an increase of $25,646 and have the same coverage. And actually we would have better coverage. You know, as first selectman, I've gone to different functions, different meetings. There's been a lot of questions, a lot of issues around the resident trooper program and with the budget, with different things that have happened with the budget. You know, when Lieutenant Duncan was a state police sergeant, I'm going to these meetings and I'm hearing everybody complain about problems they have in their town with the program. And I'm saying, what are you talking about? It's perfect, it works great. That was when he was a sergeant. He's a lieutenant working for us now. And what I'm seeing is less coverage by the troopers. Now, mind you, we're paying their salary. We have no say on what is going on. We have a sergeant at the troop who's approving time off, approving vacations. A trooper will call in sick or call in to take personal time. They're not communicating with us here in town so that we can try to backfill that position with one of our part-time, so that we have coverage.
They're basically working for us, but we have no say.
They're working for us and we have no say. And, for my first 3 years here, I'm dealing with other public officials and hearing the horror stories, and I'm saying, what are you talking about? The system works perfect. Now, I'm seeing where we do have these issues. And, there's a chain of command issue, but don't get me wrong, the resident trooper program is a really good program for the town staff. It saves us a lot of money because we can't afford $2 million for a police department. But the only requirement to be in the resident trooper program is we have one trooper in the town. That's the only requirement. Now, because of these changes, Talon's getting rid of,
I don't think they voted on it, I think they held off.
yeah. Talon is planning on getting rid of a sergeant and a trooper. And what was the other thing? Is it Summers is getting rid of a trooper? Yeah. But there's, everybody's scrambling and, you go down to like Ledger, they got one trooper and 25 constables. Some towns, Mansfield is looking to get rid of troopers, because of this. And part of the problem is, there's logistical problems. It's a chain of command issue, which I can get and understand, is you got a state police, and then you have constables. Well, then you have resident troopers, and, who's answering to who? So, if the troop does not take the initiative to ensure that coverage is proper, then we have to take the initiative. You guys have heard the complaints about no follow-up, cases not being cleared. When Lieutenant Duncan was the sergeant, we had the highest clearance rates of the state for solving crime and clearing the cases out. And now we're falling backwards because he doesn't have that authority. When the previous lieutenant was at the troop, the previous lieutenant said whatever Lieutenant Duncan says, he's done a great job for all these years. We're going to continue. People have changed, lieutenants have changed, sergeants have changed, and the mindset's changed. So we have to do what we need to do for the town. So it's something that we think we have to have that discussion. And honestly, I'm at the point right now because we can save even more money if we get rid of 2 troopers and put 2 constables.
But right now, the plan is just to do one.
Right now, the plan would be to do one. But I'm in favor, I'm leaning towards 2 troopers instead of 1. Until recently,
One trooper, and then 2 constables.
no, 1 for 1. If, I would be looking to get rid of 2 troopers
Right,
and replace them with 2 constables.
right.
Right. Because that could actually drop this, 825 below the 800 that we
Yep,
budgeted.
absolutely.
But, I think right now we need to look at that, to look at one, and I wanted to bring it up to you because I have to have a conversation with the lieutenant at the troop. And I gotta tell him what our intentions are. So I wanted to bring it up to the board and, make sure everybody understands the dilemma that state has put us in.
And every other town.
And every other town, yes.
I think we're moving in the right direction, I think it's a great idea. And I think we're gonna end up getting better coverage.
I mean, I think one thing that we need to assure the public is we're not trying to create our own police department per se, like Coventry or Suffield has. You know, that's very expensive. You know, it's almost $2 million. But if we remain in the trooper program and we utilize constables, which us as the town have more authority over, we can have better coverage and not have the issues that are popping up. It's about community policing. You know, it's not about the state sending people in, it's giving out a ton of tickets. And honestly, whether we're a trooper town or not, we couldn't control if the state decided they were gonna send troopers in for tickets, for speed enforcement or whatever. Well, the state's gonna do that, but, you know, I've received more complaints in the last 6 to 8 months about traffic stops and tickets, you know, for silly things, you know, burnt out marker plate lights, getting a ticket. You know, so we have to change the direction. This is what the community policing.
Do we need to do anything with this, or this is just informational, or do we need to make a motion to go into, you know, to make a motion to start this procedure? Or is that something,
No, but I think we should have some sort of motion, just that all three of us are on the same page, and we're gonna start this direction. We're gonna talk to the lieutenant in the state about getting rid of one trooper. And yet, honestly, I'm 100% for leaving the door open to get rid of 2 troopers. You know, when you look at the cost of these troopers at 92, 89, and 98, and a new hire at 85, you know, right there, just at that 70%. That doesn't include the 85%, because at the 85%, we're looking at 2 troopers at 112, 108, and you know, the other one's going to be 120. That's at 85%. You know, and the reason why these numbers are laid out the way they are is because we haven't been told by the state which trooper is going to be the 100%. So that's why all the numbers are there. And then we're trying to pick what we felt the state was going to do was step 7, the highest paid, is going to be.
There's ours. All right, I'll make a motion then, I think, to have our,
You know when the contract is up, this motion should probably be to amend, to offer to amend the contract.
of that trooper.
Authorize me to work the contract with the state police. Because that should be covered.
I don't remember when it's up. But you can amend it with 30 days notice.
I know the lieutenant wants to be with the police.
I'll make a motion that we talk about or discuss amending the contract to the state police and in turn hiring a staff police officer to fill his place.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Further discussion? All good? Yep.
No, just the way you have it listed is, we're gonna talk about that, you don't know the 1 or the 2 yet. We're just agreeing that we can move in that direction.
Definitely moving in the direction of one.
Because realistically, if we leave it the way it is, our budget's going to increase $81,000, which we don't have. So if we do it this way, it'll be an increase of $25,000, $26,000, and we'll have better service.
Correct. And if we got rid of 2, we may be able to have a decrease of 20,000. You vote? All in favor? Aye.
Oh, to add it? I thought we did. All right, I'll make a motion to add intermunicipal agreement between the town of Stafford and the town of Somers to the agenda.
I'll second that.
We had discussed this previously, about the town of Stafford and the town of Somers entering into an agreement that would allow our constables to work contract jobs in Somers, and Somers constables to work contract jobs in Stafford. This kind of goes into some of the coverage issues that we have. But what it allows our constables to go and work a road job or a telephone pole job in Somers. What we would do is no different than if they were working in town. We would send the bill to the water company, the power company, whoever the contractor is. Now, we bill at $75 an hour when we bill these jobs. The constable, rough figure, gets paid roughly $30 or $35 an hour in that range for doing those jobs. So we're making money on, the town of Stafford is generating additional revenue on top of it. The state police, when they call a state trooper in to do that, the state police is billing $120 an hour. A lot of times, and two of you don't see it as often as I do because I get the phone calls and I'm, get the accident reports and different things that I'm on scenes, is, we get a telephone pole that's hit and we have no coverage for it. And we just had one on Orchid Mill Road 2 weeks ago where somebody hit a pole. And it was, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I happened to be up and I responded. They toned it out twice and I was saying nobody's coming, so I responded to the call. I got there and they had about four people there up by
Mill Pond, right?
it was up by the Mill Pond in the Orchidville Road. So we had to block the road. We had to block the road off at the Masonic Lodge. We had to block the road at Murphy Road. So the fire department requested me to go get some barriers and put barriers up. So I put barriers up. And when I left, there was 2 state troopers there. I wake up the next morning about 9 o'clock to a phone call from somebody who was irate because somebody moved the barricades from Murphy Road down by the pump station. And the barricade that were up said closed to through traffic. But the troopers left. If the troopers had stayed, they could have told people that, yes, you can make it to Mr. Babson's farm. But because the troopers were leaving, they decided to move those signs and put them down below. So traffic's coming, and it all got jammed up at the bottom of the hill. So needless to say, I fixed that. But the problem was, the troopers left. The troop C, never bothered to call our constables to say, hey, you want this road job? And this happens quite often, whether or not they call our constables or not, they can't find people who want to work road jobs. So this gives us more laterals so that we can call Somers. If they've got a constable that wants the road job, he can come over. Because that whole thing, that one incident just kind of puts it all together that, and the reality is it's a state road. It's not something that we as a town should be worried about. We shouldn't have to worry about it, but we do have to worry about it because DOT is not going to do anything. And the state police isn't going to do anything. And although they're responsible, we still have to provide public protection and public safety. So anybody that knows that one stretch going down that hill, to move those signs was the worst decision they could have made.
turn around, Marco's driveway then.
And I talked to both troopers before I left, and we were all set, and then I wake up and they moved the signs.
Now, will we get billed by the state police on that, or city 120 per hour?
Now, the state police, that was troopers. So the state police,
State road.
they've got to deal with the power.
That's billed.
So what this agreement does, this agreement allows us, gives authority for our officers to go to Summers, their officers to come here and work. And it's not working crime, it's not working, any other type of investigations. It's purely for road type jobs. It's for parades, Summerfest maybe, or the Winterfest. I don't know if anybody's noticed, but the last couple of big events we've had, there's been a cruiser here from Summers because they sent an officer over because we were short in coverage for manpower. So Lisa was kind enough to send somebody over to help with traffic.
Do they bring their own cars? Does it say Summers?
Summers, yeah, they would.
It says Summers, like Summers Police or
They
whatever?
would, Summers cars are unmarked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have any jurisdiction to, they see so-and-so doing something bad.
Yeah, they have jurisdiction anywhere in the state.
Okay.
They're not a state trooper, but as a law enforcement officer, they do have jurisdiction anywhere in the state if there's a crime. Plus, we have mutual aid. Our officers will go to Summers. Summers officers will come here, or, there is mutual aid between towns to try to help or back up coverage, because sometimes they need backup, and, state police backup maybe 45 minutes away when they need somebody there in 10 minutes.
So this is just an enhancement on an existing mutual aid coverage agreement anyway.
Yeah, this is formal, this is actually formalizing the mutual aid coverage agreement. And the basis of it is our officers are our officers, their officers are their officers. We're just giving permission for them to cross boundaries and work the street jobs.
I can make a motion to enter with Summers agreement into intermunicipal assistance.
Second that.
Any further discussion? Well, just to kind of close that up, it's kind of no different than we have a mutual aid agreement with the building official with other towns. Building official, there's a mutual aid agreement where, he's on call for 4 or 5 other towns, as well as those building officials are on call for staffing if needed. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. He said it twice. Okay. Any other business?
I do want to say, we do have to cancel our meeting July 9th, we can put that on the record. Rich and I will be away.
And it keeps that was my excuse to get away, to come back to sanity.
From camping?
From camping. By Thursday after a week at summer camp, it's nice to get away, come back to something normal.
For a real shower?
Indoor
For a real
plumbing.
shower, yes.
Indoor plumbing.
Indoor plumbing, yes. Okay.
Is there anything else? Make a motion to adjourn?
Second that.
Any further discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
President never called.
President, call.
Never called here, never